I'm not sure whether this is a webinar because we are having 2-day physical meeting happening in Dubai. 3 of us will be attending those 3 2-day sessions. We thought we will use this as an opportunity to explain what all things we will be covering in those 2 days, how it will be useful for the business owners, and how the program has been structured. I said this is an intro or a curtain raiser today, 2 days event which is going to happen on 22nd and 23rd. That means next Wednesday and Thursday in Dubai. Verma and Verma Chartered Accountants, we are into our 87th year. So in the last, I have been associated with this organization for the last almost 45 years. We all have, and along with me, my partners, Radesh Bhatt and Harish Nuni, they have all interacted with small and medium business owners. During our growth journey in Verma and Verma, we have seen many businesses flourish, as also many businesses which once upon a time have been very good have vanished from the market. Many have faced severe financial difficulties. So we thought we will use this as an opportunity to explain, based on real case studies, what all matters the successful business owners are doing vis-a-vis the others who have not so succeeded. So this will not be a theoretical class with financial jargons, but this will be more experience sharing focused on financial management. Whether you be in marketing of a product or manufacturing a product or developing a service like IT and then or rendering services to various customers, finance is a blood for every business. A small financial bad decision can ruin any organization. We have all seen Cafe Coffee Day. What happened? The moment we speak about Cafe Coffee Day, that emblem will strike our mind. We have all seen Kodak as the only photo or the film making organization or a great company, but where is now Kodak? If you want to take a photocopy, earlier we used to say, go and take a Xerox. But where is the photocopying company called Xerox now? These are all matters which, these are all large giants with a lot of consultants with in their portfolio, as also very senior employees working for them. But why then? Once upon a time, we had Kingfisher. Then we had Jet Airways. But these are all fundamentally, if you analyze all these organizations, there are certain financial wrong decisions which ruin these organizations. Our own client, by name Toshiba and Batteries, those who are from Kerala or from India, and those who have been of almost my age, would have seen Toshiba and Batteries. Toshiba and Eveready were the 2 competing brands. But where is Toshiba and Batteries? They were our clients once upon a time. We have seen that company get vanished from the business arena. So our objective will be the structure, the business, these 2-day seminar, have it structured for business owners or people handling finance and decision makers. The only topics that are relevant for business owners or people who are taking financial decisions are chosen. It will be the 2 days program will be totally an interactive and participatory session, rather than a monologue theoretical explanation about certain accounting or management topic. Naturally, the session will be very simple so that we all can have a free exchange of ideas. We take your ideas, we take your problems, discuss with them, And then commonly we can find out how the others have succeeded or faced such problems. In that, we will be experienced, as I mentioned, about some names for some brands. We will be discussing with not so big brands, but we will not be able to share the names because of confidentiality or client confidentiality. But all such matters with our actual case studies in our front, or we can explain how other small and medium enterprises, not as big as Cafe Coffee Day or Kodak or Xerox, but smaller organizations, how they have faced such challenges or decision-making problems. We have developed about 20 topics, but there will not be any overload of information. At this point of time, we really don't know the composition of our audience, but we presume it will be small and medium business owners. So based on the homogeneous character, we'll try to make it as a homogeneous group as much as possible. And out of these 20 topics, which are all more relevant to the audience, out of these 20, which all topics are more relevant for the audience, we will take. The rest we will just brush upon or just go through so that you will understand what it is, but we will dwell upon the points or topics which will be more relevant for the audience that will be discussing or we will be facing on this Wednesday and Thursday. We have tried to develop this, as we will now explain to you what are the 20 programs with the help of my partner Rajesh, who will be sharing a PowerPoint on that. Rajesh, kindly get ready for that. If you look at those topics, it can be broadly divided into two. One will be financial topics which are relevant for day-to-day management, like working capital management or MIS or budgeting, such matters which are relevant for day-to-day management, or how expenses can be controlled, how we can differentiate between a fixed and variable expenses, and how a control mechanism can be put in place, how a zero-based budgeting is done, what are the techniques adopted by successful businesses in comparing budget versus actuals. That is what is day-to-day managers are facing, or day-to-day business owners are facing these type of problems. Whereas there are other type of problems or other types of topics which will be of a long-term nature. For example, whether I have to take a different strategy in my product pricing, or whether the strategy now I have adopted in developing a product and in selling, whether this is the right strategy. That means I am making a strategic shift in my business processes. That is a once in a lifetime decision. Or whether I need to take a partner. Or there can be situations like any organization, we are all human beings. Every business which we have seen, they all will think at some point of time, what will happen after my time? I have reached a stage, I have made enough money, and now I feel that I should retire. I am fed up with this business. What to do? Is it necessary just to down the shutter and then lock it and then get away? You have a brand, you have developed it. How it is being done? Because if your children, if you're fortunate to have your children to succeed your business and take the business to the next level, and if they are more competent than you, they are more competent than you. Meaning, if your successor should be more competent than you, they are going to face a bigger problem in the future than you have faced. So whether your successors are more competent, then you can succeed your business to them. In such cases, how successful large businesses, how they are taking such succession planning, what are the precautions that need to take so that there is no dispute amongst the family members? Or how to choose, suppose I have got 3 children. how to choose who will succeed my business without creating a problem in the family. Or if I'm unfortunate and I'm not having a successor, what should we do? How I should pass on to another entrepreneur? What are the mergers and acquisitions happening now? In such a scenario, how the valuations are done? These are all once in a lifetime decisions. So there are certain decisions out of these 20 topics, there are certain decisions which everyday business managers will be facing. And there are certain decisions which a business owner will be taking only once in a lifetime. That could be a big decision, a make or break decision. So you have to think aloud. A lot of thinking and knowledge has to go into it. So it is good to know how others have done in such situations and get a knowledge of from people like us who have handled such cases, interacting with business owners, how they have done it. You don't have to commit mistakes which others have done. You can learn from their mistakes and then take necessary precautionary measures. So these are the topics which you will be covering. So I request my partner Rajesh to share the PowerPoint so that we can explain. Can you make it in a full screen, Rajesh? Rajesh, can you make it as a full screen?
Is it fine now, sir?
No, it does not come as a full screen. Or it's only my problem. Others are able to see us. Arjun, are you able to see us?
No,
full screen.
it's not full
Kindly
screen.
make it as a full screen, Rajesh.
I think the presentation screen might be different.
Then it's okay. We will go with this. Don't waste time. Time is the essence of this discussion. Rajesh, this is good enough. We should not waste time. Yeah. See, the topic that we have taken, scaling up your business. Every business, people would like to scale up your business. So you are taking to the next level. I will not be discussing about the marketing strategy or much about HR or positive thinking or many things. Thank you, Rajesh, for this. So we will not be doing, because this is a different, we are all experts in finance. So I will restrict, or we will be restricting our discussion only on financial matters. But the organizers have been kind enough to invite another leading person of who will be handling some topics relating to marketing and sales, which will also be there as a last session on these 2 days, on Wednesday and Thursday. One other expert will also be explaining. He's from Dubai itself, so he'll be also be explaining. So that while we restrict to finance, he will be covering other areas, which probably in 1 hour, that means 2 hours he'll be covering. Thank you, organizers, for having that also, so that this covers the entire gamut of the business. Next slide, please, Rajesh. Why you have to do like this? It is moving.
Rajesh sir, it's
Sorry,
the
there
screen
was some
sharing
problem
is
with the connection. I'll come back to you. Just a moment.
sure.
Yeah, this is, please take the next slide, Rajesh. Please continue like this. We should not test the patience of the audience. As I mentioned, yeah, tell me, Rajesh. Yeah, so these are the 20 topics that we'll be covering. Strategies. If you go through the topics, we have not structured in a manner which I mentioned earlier. But if you go through that, you can put it under the first basket or the second basket. Either it will be basket relating to day-to-day management, or it will be the basket relating to one time, a long-term planning about the businesses. So these 2 things will be done, covering. So Rajesh, if you are not able to do the screen sharing, stop it. So no, just go through the third slide, please. Please go through the third slide. Third slide.
Is it visible, sir?
It is visible, but the
Yes.
slide that you are showing is not what we are wanting. Okay, so okay, so the first slide, this is the second slide. The first slide will be about the strategic management. That means what are the strategic decisions which we can take. There is as the all if some of you have attended the posters, Harvard Business School have developed 5 strategy, how it can be developed. That should go into the strategic decision making. We'll be explaining that more with more reference to the financial aspects. The second topic will be on scaling up. What are the common mistakes which a business owner will take when he is taking a decision regarding a scaling up? I think Rajesh, you don't have to show the PowerPoint. We will. Rajesh, if you are not. I think I will take it here. You don't have to show the PowerPoint. I will cover it here. Yeah, I will cover it from here. See the 20 topics. So let us not do the PowerPoint. I will explain. See the 20 topics that we'll be covering will be on strategies in business, scaling up factors, relevance of HR in business scaling up, whether you have an innovative edge. Very important. Every business, there must be some innovation. If you are not innovating, you will just go away. I used to say in such business classes that a business owner is like a person standing on a treadmill. Every day you have to run to be where you are. If you are not running, the treadmill will throw you out. This is how a business owner should think. However successful you are. Somebody is asking about a PowerPoint, so it will be better if you can share it, Rajesh. Please try to do that as you are able to get it rectified. We'll be doing that, or otherwise we will be sharing this PowerPoint with the participants. Mr. Arjun, because of this technical problem, please collect the email ID. So immediately after this, kindly send this to all the participants who have just logged in and who have given you their email IDs. Please share it with them. Because of technical problem, we are not able to do that. So strategies. Should I pause?
No, sir, no, sir. Like I've got the PPT from Radhesh, sir. I will just share it. You can start, sir. I will let you.
So in the process, kindly collect the email ID of those who are wanting this, so that then after that, immediately after this, please share with them. Then whether you have got an innovative edge, then there are various stakeholders in business. How a successful businessman is taking care of their stakeholders. It's not that the profit is entirely for you. It has to be appropriate share has to be given to various stakeholders. Then what is the risk assessment? Understanding financial statements and the key financial measure. Whether your business is highly leveraged, working capital management, budgetary control, key MIS data or information which successful business owners are relying on, how to maximize your profit, through break-even point, fixed and variable analysis, contribution technique. Then every business there is a fraud. I have no hesitation to say that even in our organization, Verma and Verma, there can be fraud happening. Employee frauds will be happening. You cannot say that I have got a very trustworthy employee. Frauds will not happen. Everywhere frauds are happening. What are the different types of frauds which can happen? And how them? What are the symptoms of a fraud? All these things we can explain. Then use of technology in business and data analytics. Very important topic. Diversion and diversification. There is a difference between diversion and diversification. Big businesses have failed. All financial institutions have identified these are the 2 key parameters or key dangers which every businessman will enter into for business before a business failure. Diversion or diversification. Crisis management. Every crisis, there is an opportunity. How people have succeeded during crisis of Corona. Like that, any crisis, they need not be a global crisis. It can be in the business. Then, when there is a crisis and you are not able to get out of it, how to face that situation? And if you find that your one business is not doing well, you can decide that I will cut loss and then exit. Valuation in business, succession planning, investment of surplus funds. See, every business people at some point of time of their growth story, you will have surplus funds. Where to invest your funds? In a manner in which the capital is not lost and you are getting a reasonably risk-free return. The risk and reward will go together. Higher the risk, higher the reward. How you can manage both, and what are the various avenues for such investments. And also, Indians would like to know what are the recent changes in income tax laws in India, what are the laws or provisions which are applicable to non-residents under the goods and service tax called GST, there it is called VAT, and what are the provisions relating to FEMA, Foreign Exchange Management Act, how you can take your funds here, how you can make your investment in some companies here. We have got many companies who have got NRI investments. Many such NRI investments are not done properly because of ignorance. It's not that they want to do some hangy-pangy or do some violation. Many mistakes happen because of ignorance. So our objective is to explain what are the ways in which or legally how you can invest your funds in India, and when you invest in startups, what all matters you should look at, and how a business, you will not invest in an organizations like which you don't have proper governance practices. So these matters will be covered. So these are the 20 slides which we thought we'll show you today. Under risk management, one sample we are showing you. Under risk management, these are the subcategories. What is risk in business? What are the categories? What are the external risks and what is the internal risk? What is risk? How it is a risk is managed? Steps in risk management, risk rating and risk register, risk control, and practical issues. Topically, every topic will have around about half an hour to 45 minutes. The objective is not to make you a master about in risk management, but the key parameters will be explained. Like that, every topic, the key parameters, there will be some takeaways from every topic. We will be successful, or we will feel that the training have been successful if you are able to carry at least 6 or 7 tips from this, from which I'm sure your business will only improve, because you are sharing our practical experience, not that we have learned from any educational institution. We'll be only sharing our experience, which we have from over the last 4 or 5 decades in associating with Burma and Burma, though our organization is almost 90-year-old. We sitting here, the 3 of us, I being the oldest one amongst the other 2. I have had around 40-45 years. The others, I have about 25 years plus experience in handling with such organizations. So we will be sharing our experience. So I'm sure. And this event, why I thought this thing will be beneficial for you is that now Kerala or India is giving a lot of opportunities for investments. So those of you who are planning to have some investment back in India would like to know about these aspects. And number 2, finance is the key. And when I discuss, I have been training personally about batches of about 30, 35, like that, about 26 or 27 groups I have trained personally. And those 25 still continues to be in touch with me. So I know, so many of them are not large of them. 1 or 2 are very large, but others are all under small and medium. We know that what are the problems faced by them in their growth trajectory. So I thought it's an opportunity to share with our fellow citizens who are working there or are doing some businesses there, so that it will be beneficial for them for the rest of their business life. Thank you. I think we will take some Q&A based on this. I have covered 30 minutes. I thought I will cover in 30 minutes. So I have done that. So now I leave it the forum for a discussion. Along with, at that time, my other two partners will also interact with the participants so that you will know a bird's eye view of what we are going to do in those 2 days. Back to Arjun for you to take it forward.
Thank you so much, Sathyanarayan sir. So now it's Q&A session. If there are two options, like one, you can send it through chat. If you have any queries, concern, and any questions, you can share it in the chat. And the second one is you can turn on your mic and video and ask the question directly. We have all the speakers here ready to answer all your queries. So we are waiting for your. Thank you so much, Shabri. Yeah. Any queries? It can be related to finance and any specific issues that you're currently facing in your business, or anything in particular that you would like to know. We have very experienced people here with us. So let's make the most out of it.
If there is no specific query, let me see how we have structured this program. Is that the first day we will be covering only the areas which requires a long-term vision. We'll start with this the strategic business planning, and along with that we'll discuss. We'll understand the group, and then we will try to develop a structure in which all the rest of the programs can be done. Yeah, query has been raised. What is FEMA? FEMA is Foreign Exchange Management Act. Earlier it was FERA, Foreign Exchange Regulation Act. So before 1990, India had a lot of foreign exchange problem. We didn't have foreign currency to meet our crude purchases. We had only 10 days foreign exchange reserves to buy crude. So it is a national insecurity, because if something happens, our defense forces need crude or petrol or diesel. We are not able to buy that. It's a national insecurity. So that was up to 1990 or 1991. It was Foreign Exchange Regulation Act. So foreign currency was not coming to India. After that, a lot of liberalization happened. So that is up the opening of the economy. After 91, 92, Narasimha Rao and then Manmohan Singh, they opened up the economy. So when they opened up the economy, a lot of foreign investments happened in India. That is how India got foreign currency. And we are surplus now. From there has been a great growth story. So now it is not a Foreign Exchange Regulation Act. It is called Foreign Exchange Management Act, meaning we are not regulating foreign currency inflow and outflow, but it has to be managed. So we need to have the government has regulated Foreign Exchange Management Act guidelines. You can make investments in India only in compliance of Foreign Exchange Management Act guidelines, which keeps on changing. It is not like an act of a parliament. It is all based on notifications given by Reserve Bank of India. From time to time, the rules will keep on changing based on our macroeconomic policies. So once you make this, so at relevant point of time, if you're investing or if you're giving a loan to an organization here, this Foreign Exchange Management Act will take importance. So you have to be in compliance of that. We'll give you a broad bird's eye view of what it is, broadly how you can bring money to India. All these things we'll be explaining in the on these 2 days program. I hope I have clarified that, but I cannot explain more because of the paucity of time. I have my partners have also prepared a beautiful detailed presentation on various aspects of FEMA, but due to paucity of time, and this is not a forum for explaining each and every topic. So I'm stopping, but we will see you on Wednesday or Thursday so that we can discuss this further.
Thank you so much, Sathyanarayan sir. So currently, one more query has been raised. Like, is it possible for one more query to be completed, sir?
Yeah. Well, see, I have all time. So
Okay,
if
okay.
queries
No
are
problem.
coming, we have no, we can take.
Great. So the query is like, I need to know in Dubai, which business is best for startup, supported by bank finance, and what's the interest? Then that's a much more specific query related to Dubai and bank finances.
Oh, so you are asking what is the best business that you can do in business? Today's point of view.
In that is supported by bank finance as well. And
Yeah,
what
that
is
means
the
you need
interest rate?
you need to do a business in Dubai, which is which will enable the bank finance to come, isn't it? Yes. See, we can explain that in more detail, but I can tell you that main thing that we'll do two things with it: either trading or information technology, IT based services. So this is a very important, very interesting question. See, before you start any product, you should start with services, because services is very easy, because it requires very low capital. But there is a time factor, meaning I am into a service industry. How much time I can do in services? 24 hours. I need my personal time for sleep and for rest and for everything. So maximum, however hardworking I am, I may get around 10 hours time. So my productivity time is 10 hours. So service has that limitation because it is limited by time. Whereas product, it is not limited by time. One product, the GP into whatever big industry it is, you can have lot of profitability from there. But the flip side is that productivity involves lot of capital investment. So those who have not yet started their business, it will be good to start with some service industry, meaning start some service. And then, for example, start a painting company, meaning you are giving painters to paint. Understand how is the paint industry working, how profitable it is, how competitive, or which are the brands happening there. Give your setup an organization which are providing painting services to a lot of people. You employ so many painters, and then you develop a brand that if you want your house to get painted, this is an example. Just this is a very small. I would like to discuss further when we meet personally on it. And then understanding the paint industry. After understanding the paint industry, start a paint manufacturing company. So this service industry is a stepping stone for a product organization. But if you first start a product company, then either as a trading company or a manufacturing company, then you will have the risk, or you will face the risk, unless you study very well about that industry, the product industry first, about which I have got in the first or the second session, which I mentioned about the scaling up. I have covered that ratio, that how you can scale up your business, meaning scaling up. If you are into a service industry, you can scale up to a product industry. But while scaling up, what all matters you need to consider? All those things I'll be covering. So briefly, I will tell you that. But specific regarding what is the interest rate there and how the banks are looking at it. See, I don't have to be very frank with you. I can explain generally about finance and how it is being done. But if specific relating to Dubai or any specific area, I think I am not operating in Dubai, and so hence the ground reality is there, or what is their interest rate there. Probably we'll be able to share some lead to you so that you can contact them and do that. Directly, we are not doing such services in Dubai, but in India we are doing. So under Indian conditions, I can explain, but I will restrain, or broadly I can give you, but with a caveat that I am not an expert. Don't go by your expert. Don't go by my advice only in Dubai. That will be my advice to my fellow investors in Dubai.
We have one more query. Yeah.
Ask Arjun, please ask.
Yeah. I believe the program covers opportunities, challenges, and recovery plans of starting and running a business, and more information on Indian business expansions. That is from Mr. Rajesh.
That is his comment or his query?
His expectation about the program, sir.
No,
His expectation of the program.
Oh, I see, Sajid. But see, I can assure you two things. One, finance, as a human being, whether you are in Dubai or whether India or an American, all of us are having the blood. Similarly, every business, whether in USA or in UK or in Dubai or in India, finance and fundamentals of finance will not change. So this is what I'll be sharing there. So, but for the specific query regarding what is the bank rate applicable in Dubai and how the banks and financial institutions in bank will look at my financial statements, how are they evaluating the financial statement, that is very specific to Dubai. That I may not be able to explain as an expert, so I will refrain from that. But I can explain you generally how the banks will look at the balance sheet approach, what is the balance sheet approach, what is a P&L approach of banks, and how the banks will look at a security, and how they will look at the viability, or how they are looking at the working capital management. Or these are the parameters or ratios which are applicable all over the globe, whether in Australia, New Zealand, USA, UK, or Europe, or Dubai, or India. The parameters are exactly the same. That I can explain. And number two, there will not be an overload of information. See, the overload of information, which meaning these 20 topics, if I want to discuss or make you detailed an expert on that, it will take not 2 days, it may take 2 weeks at least. So this 2 days program, depending upon the appetite of the audience, we will be structuring, we will be taking time for some topics, more time, and less time on some other topic, just to make sure that all participants are engaged properly with us. That is what we are. I'm sure we will not make you sleep. That I can assure you.
Yeah, Mr. Rajesh, the explanation is clear to your query?
Absolutely, it's clear.
Yeah, fine. Okay.
Thank you so much. Any other queries? So we have got some comments as well, like super presentation. That is for you, sir, Sathyanarayan, sir, I think.
Thank you. This is, I don't like talking to facing the computer. This is because this was required as a teaser to our 2-day program there. But looking at eye to eye and then talking is what matters. I look forward to that.
Sure, sir, I totally agree with what you say. Like after COVID, we have all got used to coming to webinars and communicating. But surely the difference is quite big when we are having an one-on-one session, looking at directly there. We'll be able to cover a lot of other things and other queries as well. And to continue on further, like is anyone else having some queries on the session? Anything regarding finance? You can share.
No, those who have not registered, am I muted? No. See, if those who have not yet registered, please get in touch with the lead or the numbers given to or which you have with you, so that you can get clarity on the matters that you may want to. But don't take it as an expenditure. What is an expenditure? 2 days, that is your working time wasted, or the fees that is asked by the organizers to join 2 days program. These two are not your expenditure. These are your investments. One topic, one takeaway is enough. I can assure you, you look at my hairs, I can tell you one takeaway is enough for you to have a great game changer in your business. We have tried to structure it and include it only without any frills, only the matter of the matter. That will only be covered here. So that 1 or 2 takeaways itself will be enough to make a game change in your business. So try to join. Don't think that 2 working days are wasted. It is not. It will not be a waste. It will be an investment for your future.
Very rightly said, Sathyanarayan sir. We have some late joinings who have joined after 50% of the program and all. So to just brief it up, we were mainly talking about finance and how finance can help in business, and how the coming program on the 22nd and 23rd of November 2023 at Al Nahda, Dubai, is going to help you in your business. And we will be having Mr. Sathyanarayan sir, Radhesh sir, and Harikrishnani sir on that particular day, and you'll be able to interact with them. You'll be able to clear all your queries. And as rightfully said by Mr. Sathyanarayan sir, when you have an one-on-one session, when you have a direct communication with the experts, you get a lot of eye openings. And exactly as you said, like even the one topic, if it brings some difference in the business, in a long run, it's going to be a big change or a big step up in what they're doing. So for all those who have joined
Arjun,
after, yeah.
Arjun,
Sure.
sorry, Arjun, sorry.
No
Please
problem,
give
no
me a
problem.
time.
Sure,
See,
sure.
see the party. Not only this, you see, this is going to be a great networking experience. Meaning, during tea time or during our break or during our lunch time or after the session also, we all will be available. There may be many queries which you will not be able to, you may not be wanting to unmute and then ask me question because there are many people in the audience. But one-to-one when we meet, we can discuss. I can also give you some examples of the name of the organizations, not in platform like this, but in one-to-one, it adds lot of value. Number 2, I understand that the organizations are also planning to have a succeeding hand-holding sessions, meaning if you organize or any of these participants need further support, they can get in touch with the organizers. I understand that they have a processes or a methodology by which they will help you to get over on whatever problems or whatever matters which you want to further queries on this. They will be helping you to get over that. They will be a facilitator in getting that. This I understand from the organizers that they are planning to do that. So these two will be a great asset or an opportunity for you in scaling up your businesses. Sorry, Arjun, for interrupting. Please continue.
No. Everyone is here to hear very insightful words from you. So whenever you have any thoughts coming up, always feel free to interrupt me. If for all the new participants who have come in, we have been talking about finance. So in your business, if you have any particular query regarding finance, even though you have joined it late, still Sathyanarayan sir would be able to clear those things out. So any confusions or any particular topics that you would like to know, currently with the time limitation, he won't be able to briefly explain it, but he'll be able to give you a bird's eye view on that particular topic. So any particular topic, you can just drop in that question there.
Yeah, you can use this as an opportunity to ask any doubts on about income tax in India, or how startups are operating. I'm just giving you a leading points for you to raise your questions. how startups are doing in Kerala or in India, or which sector is good for Indian investments. These things, if any of you would like to know further about it, with the limited time we have, we can make use of it.
Sathyanarayan sir, till we get another question, I will ask one question then. So I've been in touch with a lot of startups and we have been mentoring a lot of startups. So in case of finance, what do you think is when a particular person is getting started with business, or when a particular startup is getting started with the business in finance, what are the key points that they have to look into? Like, as in case of startups, there will be a lot of limitations regarding the number of people they have, the HR things and all. So it will be very limited, but there are particular things that they have to look into so that they get scaled to the next level, or they get in the right path. So what is it in finance that they have to make sure, like 100% thing, that you should be having this in your business setup?
Good question, Arjun, but I'll be very brief. It is a topic on which I minimum 2 hours will be required, but I'll be point by point, I'll tell you. Number one, bootstrapping, meaning every startup should try to develop based on their internal resources. You should not go for a loan. How much expenditure you can conserve in your business, that you have to do that. Every successful startups would have struggled in the initial years. So if there may be people who are willing to invest but don't take money from external persons also, even if they are willing, because you will get a bigger valuation later. So you should always try to use very limited resources which you have, and try to reduce your expenditure in the initial years. That is my advice number one. Advice number two, have proper governance principles in place. Very important. What is happening to Baiju? See, the governance principle in startups, you may be a good technocrat, or you may have a great idea, or the market may be extremely good. Without governance principles, you cannot take governance for granted. What is governance? I will explain more detail in our presentations on those 2 days. Governance will be, in nutshell, will be all your processes, whether financial or your relationship with employees or your partners or other stakeholders. Every relationship should be value-based. It should be on principles. So if the governance principles are not properly taken care of, you will not be able to take it forward. The third point which a startup should consider is, look at the competition. What is that you are doing? You should have filled up a void. There must be a value in your business. Unless there is a value in your business, you will not succeed. So you should identify what is the value. The value can be either there is a past void from your experience. You would have seen there is a void in the system. There is some pain in the system, in the people, people are facing some difficulties. Are you filling up that void of the past? Or you may be thinking there is some perceived value. You are thinking today there is some value for certain matters, what it is. Or you should think of something for the future, some real estate. The people who are into real estate business may think that, okay, I am selling an aspiration to have a house that I am selling. So the startup should cater to some aspirations of the future. Byju's was an aspiration of the future. People who want to go to IIT or IIM, the Baiju was catering to the aspirations of somebody. So every startup should have a strategy to either fill up a void or create a value for the present or create an aspiration for the future. Find out what it is and understand what are the competitors with competitions which are relevant in that. and then only it can succeed. So I will stop with these three. One, minimum capital. Number two, governance principles. Number three, where are you strategically placed vis-a-vis your competitor? That you should be. These are the three fundamentals. First, we can discuss later at the meeting.
Thank you so much, Sathyanarayan. I know it's a big topic, but very briefly you've explained it and very beautifully. And we have one more question that has come up. Consideration of cost of goods in a service industry. So correct me if I'm wrong, whether is associated with direct cost shall be included in cost of goods per service. That is the question. Consideration of...
It has come in the chat box?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, in the chat.
I will also reading. I'm also reading that. Yeah. Consideration of cost of goods. Yeah.
In services.
I can correct me if I am wrong. Whatever is associated with direct cost shall be included. Yes, I fully agree. See, in a service industry, for example, Varma and Varma is a service industry, meaning we are rendering services. What I am doing to you or what I am rendering to my clients is a service. So in my organization, the cost of goods sold, meaning there is no goods I am selling, but I am selling or I am providing services. For services, what is the cost? Is an employee cost. So employee cost is the main component in the service industry. As I briefly mentioned about the time factor in service industry, here the human intellectual input is what is required. So service industry, the main component that goes to the cost is the salary. Roughly in an auditing firm or a CA firm like this, the thumb rule is that 80 or 85% of our audit fees goes to salary. Because audit is very expensive. It is very time labor intensive, meaning we have to employ very skilled people there. But taxation and consultancy services, the 20 or 20%, the rest is our intellectual input. So if you look like that, roughly, so around 80-85% will be audit, around 20 will be about in the consultancy. So roughly it is like this. So every service industry should consider salary as a cost. The rest should be make up of telecommunication, etc., which will be very little as compared to the salary cost. So your understanding is not wrong. Whatever cost goes directly into the rendering of that service is the cost. It's not called cost of goods sold. We call it direct cost. The direct cost will be the cost that is directly involved in rendering those services. I hope the chorist has got it right, but I can explain it more.
I think the query is relating to the maintenance or repair related services. So I think there the element of material being used in the service is involved.
That type. Oh, I see. Oh, if there is a repair type of service, means it includes both. That is, materials are also going and labor is also going. So there are two components into it. So if the chorist has raised a case where, like an AC repair or a car repair, where labor is also there and materials are also there, means then it is a composite supply, meaning you are supplying both labor as also materials. Both are included in that. In that case, both you have to consider. Materials also you must consider. Salary of the employees who have done those services should also be taken. Both put together is the direct cost of rendering those services.
Is the query solved? If you have a specific query, you can ask in the chat itself. If you have something connected with that as well.
Very interesting questions coming, but I'm sure those questions or similar questions can be answered with examples. We'll give you write down examples of these cases. We have taken actual case studies based on it. We have already prepared these things, so I'm sure those who are having similar queries will get it clarified by the presentations prepared by Radesh and Harikrishna. Those things will be explained, and we will request, or at that seminar, we will be requesting you, all of you, to prepare it, and then we will share the answer so that we are all on the same page. Workshop will go like that.
We have, can we spare like 1 or 2 minutes more, like if
Yeah,
the asked questions more? Yeah, I know that it is exactly the time that we are planned. And if anyone has any particular questions, we will be actually dealing a lot more queries and a lot more questions in one-on-one session that is going to happen. And in that, we will be explaining this. Like, I think almost all of them have understood how detailed you explain, including all the examples and all. And I can see a lot of good messages in the chat as well. They have really liked the way you are explaining. So we will be having much more of time of Sathyanarayan sir during that program, as well as we'll be handling a lot of other queries and other case studies there. So any last questions? We will take maximum five more minutes of sir. I know your time is very valuable. You have a lot of things also to do. So 5 minutes more.
Traveling tomorrow. No, I'm traveling tomorrow, and cricket is happening at 2 o'clock. That's all of you will have to.
I think almost everybody is waiting for that.
Yeah.
So till that time, we have that particular time. Yeah. So Sathyanarayan, so he is available for a bit more time for any particular queries that you have. So what will happen is, if you guys don't ask, then finally I again will be asking. So that is why, if any of you have a particular query related to your business, you can ask. Till then, I will just share the poster of our program that is coming up on the 22nd and 23rd. Here it is happening in Dubai. So anyone who would like to get more details on it, you can either message in the chat with your contact details, or already contact details are added from D-Lead Internationals. You can connect directly to those numbers and get detailed information on this. So I think the one more query has been raised. Stop the screen sharing. Yeah. I think it's a follow-up question on the previous query.
Yes, valuations of company based on authorized share capital at the time of incorporation of a company in order to have projections. What should be the price of share in UAE at the time of incorporation? As I mentioned, the query, I think the query is, if you want to form a company, you should have a capital, meaning that is called the authorized capital. When you are incorporating a company, what is the fee payable, etc., depends upon the authorized capital of that company. Because at that point of time, the valuations have not come. The child is just being formed or being born. So it is still in the womb of its mother. So the valuations at that point of time will arise only for the incorporation. But only after the company is formed, after the projections for the future have been structured and documented and can be validated with supporting documents, the organization will have a value. At the initial day zero, everything is zero. But once it is formed and there is a revenue stream, a projected revenue stream is identifiable and can be validated with supporting, then that organization will have a value. That valuation is same whether in UAE or in India. The question regarding the linking with the authorized capital is only for the incorporation of the company and on day zero. At that point of time, what is authorized capital? That is the value on which you have to pay, the value based on which you have to pay the fees, etc., for getting it incorporated. I can only understand the query to this extent. If it is more than that, I think we can only have a one-to-one discussion. I will resist from explaining in this forum. where the people, I'm not aware of the people who are participating. I will be happy to have that clarified on a one-to-one meeting.
Thank you so much, Sathyanarayan sir. So any more further queries, you can send it in the chat. And one further question I have, like till we get another query, is like generally for a startup founder or for a company, or a person who is running the company, they may not be from the finance segment. They may be much more into some other areas. So how important do you think is the knowledge of a founder regarding finance required? Like how much knowledge they should have so that to make sure that they are making the right decisions, and so that to make sure that they are taking the company to the next level. They may not be from a finance segment, they may be from different segment. How important or uh, how knowledge should a business owner be?
Arjun, I'm sure you asked this question because for the benefit of the audience, I know you
Yes,
know the answer, but I know you have asked for the benefit of the audience.
exactly.
See, yeah, see, I am yet to find a successful entrepreneur who is not having the basic knowledge of finance. If you are not having the basic knowledge of finance, you are heading for a disaster. Whether you be a organization providing services or rendering or manufacturing or trading, whatever it is, without the basic understanding of finance, your business cannot survive. I have not seen any, or it may survive not to the full extent. They may survive to the bare minimum, not to the full extent to which it can based on its potential. Or if a person, see, I used to say in all meetings, such training program where I conduct for such business owners, I say there is this Tata Sons Gopalakrishnan, who was an eminent person in Tata. He has written a book called Eat That Frog. It is available. Please read that if you have not. Eat That Frog, meaning if you're on the dining table, you have very delicious food, as also a frog. Who will eat that frog? So finance is, somebody is thinking that finance is not my cup of tea. I don't want that finance. Then first of all, what you should do is you should crack that myth. You should understand the basic. You don't have to be a master. You can get chartered accountants. You can get paid professionals to know the nitty-gritty of finance. You don't have to know about it. But you should know the basics. Without knowing the basics of finance, no business will succeed. I have interacted with many people. I can quote with examples. Without a basic knowledge of finance, no business can survive. So that is why I thought this topic is relevant for every business owners. We also could have structured it for an half-day program or a one-day program. But why we thought that 2 days will be required is because to cover all the relevant aspects which are required for a finance professional. I understand that from the comment given by somebody, the topics have been well structured. We have taken pains to structure it in a manner that all the topics will be of importance to them. As Arjun asked, these topics are the basic matters which a business owner should know. Otherwise, I don't think a businessman can survive in its business. I hope, thank you everybody. So you all have been a good audience. So those who have not registered, please take this opportunity to invest in your future business. And I hope organizers will take necessary steps to ensure that the willing participants are given all the lead and give them the necessary things so that we all can have a great learning experience. We would also like to learn from people sitting there, so that it's an experience for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sathyanarayan sir, Radhesh sir, and Harikrishnan sir for taking this valuable time and explaining in detail about the different things that we will be sharing. We have one question at Wednesday session. What would be the sessions covered? Okay, I will just screen share the topics. So these are the topics that will be main topics that we'll be sharing.
No. See, these 10 topics were what we had initially in the chorus.
Shall I share the PPT?
Yeah, you can share this PPT, what Radhesh has now tried to show. In that PPT, the second or the third slide are the
20
subject,
topics.
not 10. Yeah, it is not. These 20 topics. These are the topics that we will be covering. It is not that we will give equal importance to all the 20. Some topics we will be just giving an overview, but others we will be taking in detail depending upon the profile of the audience which we will be meeting there on Wednesday and Thursday. So, but those who are asking for the copies of this PowerPoint presentation should take it as only as a general guidance for what is going to happen there and what is the order in which we are going to do. That also will vary depending upon the audience appetite for knowledge and also what they are expecting. I'm not going to, all three of us are not going to say what we have in our mind. We are going to deliver what the audience require out of these 20. So at this point of time, I may not be able to say what is the first topic on Wednesday, what is the second topic on Wednesday. Depending upon the profile of the audience there, we will be doing it. But I can be assured two things. One, there will not be an overload of information. Number two, all the matters which are relevant to the business owners will only be discussed there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sathyanarayan sir. I think we have passed our meeting time also, but it was a very interesting session, and I think almost all the participants who have joined today have got a lot of information from our speakers, and you'd be getting a much more interesting and one-to-one networking session also in the coming days on 22nd and 23rd in Dubai. So especially Sathyanarayan sir and team are coming here to have an interactive session with you to make sure that you are doing your business or you're getting your business to the next level, and to give the insightful sessions and one-to-one queries. So thank you all for joining today. So anyone who would like to get a direct call with us, you can drop in your phone numbers and we will have our team communicate with you and give in details on all the regarding the session that is coming on 22nd and 23rd. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you all for joining in. It was a wonderful session, and hoping to meet all of you here in Dubai live one-to-one session. Thank you all.
Thank you.